Hello, welcome. It's always a pleasure to be here with all of you, learning together and understanding why we are here, why things happen to us. There are so much things that can happen in a human life, and we simply don't understand it because we're not given the information, or with our own logic, we come to the wrong conclusion, and therefore it creates this void, this pain that makes it difficult to accept whatever it is that you're going through. Now, the topic I'm going to speak to you about today is why do we die young? Why do we die at all? So, to understand this, it's beautiful if you can understand what I'm going to tell you. One you need to remember is this is a temporary place. We're here temporarily. We're not here permanently. Now, the way to understand it, we must think about the soul. What is the soul? Let's say I gave you a check for $1 million, right? And I took two envelopes. One was dirty and old, and one was brand new. So I took the check from the old envelope that was dirty, and I put into the new envelope, the $1 million check. Did the check change? No. What changed? The envelope, right? So the envelope. So what is the envelope? The envelope is the body. The body is the envelope. And the check is the soul. It's that person. That's who that person is. What you're seeing is the envelope, which is the shell, the body, which is temporarily in this world. But what lives on, that never dies, is the soul, who that person is. So the question today is this: how do I accept this? The death of someone that I love that died young. To best understand this is by this story. And this is a true story. There is a couple that got married. They were young. They were in the early 20s. So for a couple of years, they've been trying to have children. And before they got married, they both agreed they wanted to have 12 children. Imagine that. Both the husband and wife accepted and wanted to have 12 children. So the first year of the marriage, they tried, nothing. Second, nothing. Third, nothing. The fourth, they start to worry about there's no children. So they start going to specialists. On the fifth year, they've been through a couple of specialists. And now, after specialist after specialist, nothing. So this is in the 10th year of the marriage, no children. So the couple was beginning to give up that they will ever have children. This 12 children, this big family they wanted, is going to be a no-go. So they heard about this new research that was being done in another country, and it would sound promising. So they decide to go there and to see if this new procedure would help them become fertile and have children. They went there. It was exciting. They sat and talked with the doctor, and they tried the procedure. They moved forward, and nothing happened. So that day, the couple were returning back, and the journey back home, both couples were completely silent. They didn't talk to each other the whole way trip back home. They walked into the house. They were silent. They went to bed, they were silent. They ate dinner, they were silent. They went to bed, they were silent, because they couldn't believe it. They don't know what else to do anymore. So that night, they both went to bed, sad, wondering, this is it. It's not going to happen. In their dream, an angel came to them and told them, we're going to give you a child. But this child can only be in the world for only 6 months. And the reason why this child hasn't come into this world, we've been waiting for this special parent who will be ready and wanting to accept this child for 6 months. And we have chosen you. And the question we have for you is, do you want this child? We just need you to keep him for 6 months. And both of them agreed to say, yes, absolutely. But you understand, in 6 months, we're going to take him back. The envelope going to stay behind, and we're taking a check, which is the soul, going back upstairs, back to heaven. But she only needs to be in the world for 6 months. And they agreed. They woke up that morning, went downstairs, they were having breakfast, they both were still quiet. And then the wife said, I had this strange dream last night. And the husband was curious. He wasn't really paying too much attention. And she said, I dreamed this angel came to me and said that we're going to have a child, and the child will live for 6 months. Do we accept it? And the husband said, what? That's exactly the dream I had as well. And they start to compare notes. And sure enough, they had the same dream. And then guess what? 30 days later, the wife got pregnant, and 9 months later, she gave birth to this beautiful baby girl. But they both understood. So during that time, they were completely at awe raising this child for the 6 months. And of course, 6 months came, the child died. So during the funeral, everyone was sad for the family because they knew they've been waiting for 10 years to have a child, and the child died. So during the wake in the house, everybody was sad and down and depressed, for the family. They couldn't believe it. How can this take place? How could this happen? They had this child. And then they see the husband and wife, they're smiling. Even though they're tearing a little bit, but they're smiling, they're giggling, and one of the men, they all were curious. How could you be smiling? You've been waiting for 10 years to have this child, and this is the wake, and then we're sad, and you smiling. How can it be? Why are you smiling? So they were curious. So one of the men went to the husband and said, listen, this is kind of weird. Your daughter died and you smiling, you and your wife are giggling. Can you tell us what's going on? Why are you not sad? And the man realized, hey, they don't know what's going on. So he took his glass and hit it with a fork to get everyone's attention and says, please, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? So he said, I know you think my wife and I may be losing it, but we're not. To understand what has happened, I will explain to you. All of you understood that my wife and I, we've been trying to have children for over 10 years. And now we did, and the child is gone. But what has happened, you need to understand, is that last moment we went to out of country to try to get help to have children. We thought it was endless. It was never going to happen. But that night, when we came home, an angel came to us. And he told us we're going to have a child. And do we accept it? Because we were selected to be the parent for this child. So he went on to tell the story, what happened. He said, but what that most people will never know or understand is this. We knew we were getting a child, and we knew it would be for 6 months. We accepted the term. But how many of you, God come to you and tell you this? An angel comes. But what made this unbelievable, phenomenal for us, while we laughing and giggling, was this. We knew this child was coming for 6 months. But the beauty of it was this. We understood every second of our daughter's life was priceless to us, because we understand she was going to be here for 6 months, and the angel told us we were going to have this special child. And we completely submerged, embraced every moment, every second we had with that child. We embraced it. There wasn't one moment, 1 second we're angry, we're upset, we're disappointed with our child. We loved that child all the way to the end, because we understand she was going to only be here for a little while, and we understood what was important in this life. Things do happen, but we never lost focus, intensity, and the love we had for this child. Can you imagine? I know it's hard to live a life with your son or daughter where there isn't a moment where you felt disappointed or hurt, where you didn't want to talk to them, or you told them to go to their room, you distanced yourself, you departed from yourself, you detached to a certain degree, a moment or a time where parents don't talk to their children for many years, for 30 years, or don't know their children, or even stay in regular contact with their children, or upset with their children, which create a detachment. But we did never experience that detachment. We're constantly in contact, just like you plug an outlet into the wall, it has constant current. We were in constant contact with our child. And because of that reason, we were 100% enjoy every moment with that child. And that is the greatest blessing, because if we had it the other way, we would have been like every other parent, where we might have gotten upset or detached, whatever the case may be, but we were able to absorb every moment, every second with that child. Thank you. God bless. I'll see you next time.